That would be sexist. Rank choice from introverted to extroverted. Teen boys anonymously answer 7 burning questions. I kind of want to see this because it has 600,000 views. I wonder why. I don't know this reference. Didn't play this game on stream. Yeah, don't worry about it.
In an age of call-outs, culture wars, and perfect facades, people can be afraid to express how they really feel. So we brought together 7 strangers, protected their identities, and asked them all 7 burning audience questions. What will be revealed when we take the mask off?
They're gonna ask them, are you ashamed of your HasanAbi 38-month subscription? That is the most burning question that you can ask a teen boy, okay? Whether he admits that he's a HasanAbi head or not. Most people will say no. Or most people will say yes, they are ashamed. But only the few Giga Chads will say, no, I'm not ashamed. I say it all the time. I wear it proudly on my sleeve.
If the answer is yes, you will flip on your light. Do you watch porn?
It's accessible, and because it's accessible and it's there, people use it. I'm one of them.
I think most guys can agree that they have at least at some point watched it, and I mean, it's if you can enjoy it in a healthy way, if you can enjoy masturbating in a healthy way, I think then like by all means go for it. But
yeah, I do watch porn. God. A lot of my teenage years, I spent a lot of time self-obsessing over it to the point where it kind of became an addiction. And it took until very recently to get out of the hole of, paying for porn. I do watch it, but I don't like that I watch it.
I'm gonna bring
Homie's got a fedora.
Conversation.
I said no. I used to watch it a lot before. I would say I was addicted to it. My dad is in prison, so there was no one really for me to talk to about sex. So porn was my education on sex.
From personal experience, it messed me up because after watching it so much, I'm sure we've all been there where you're on.
Bro, this is what I was talking about yesterday. If when I was a teenager I had access to internet porn, I feel like I would have come out differently. Because, I get why people are fucking nofap nowadays because, it's fucking insane to think about. I was so fucking horny, dude. I was so goddamn horny when I was growing up. You guys already know the jokes. I drew my own titties and stuff. The fap, too. And honestly, I didn't have access to internet porn, but if I did, I would have probably only done that. I literally would have just dropped everything and only looked at internet porn all day, every day. No internet in Turkey? You're not that old? Internet pornography was not readily accessible to me when I was growing up. I'm 31 years old. Especially because we had one family computer. Computers were not as commonplace. iPhones and shit did not exist when I was growing up, when I was young. You have to remember. Yeah, the PSP was revolutionary for me, for sure. Zoomers don't understand. We had to fucking go to Ares and LimeWire, FrostWire, and go to peer-to-peer, torrent services to try to download the same exact pornography over and over again. And it was on a shared PC, so in the fucking living room, so you can't do that. Anyway,
on page 5 and nothing is right. You're looking for that right video, but your dopamine receptors and everything is so messed up at this point that.
Hey, what's your views on it though? I love porn. I think porn is great. What that kid said is really important. Remember, he said, "Oh, I didn't have a father figure in my life, so I had no one to teach me about sex. So porn taught me about sex." That's societal failure being placed upon a form of art and consumption. No, porn should never have the expectation of educating people, just like fucking Hollywood is not educating people. You know what I mean? You don't fucking look to Hollywood to educate your children. That's crazy.
The same thing that would get you off wouldn't get you off anymore, right? I went so deep into it, where I'm a straight man, I started watching trans porn because it was just erotic in a different way that I've never seen before. I needed more stimulation.
Because of pornography.
Bro, homie just thought that watching trans porn was like bad. Maybe you just like, maybe you just like it. I don't understand. Like, what's the... Dude, you are fucking asinine. That shit's dark. Wait, what? Hey, you asked me what my views on porn are. I said I like porn. I think porn is fine. I think porn can be great. Porn can help you experiment safely with what kind of kinks you might have. And that the expectation should not be... The expectation of, like, educating children on sex should not be placed upon porn. That's an asinine, dark fucking thing to say. Like, what do you mean? I'm failing to understand what you're trying to say here. Why is that asinine or dark? Bro, this guy keeps saying you should do a political analysis of Attack on Titan. No.
Yes, because of pornography. So I don't think it's just entertainment. It actually affects with your brain and the way you perceive love.
Do you think that a lot of teenagers or teen boys are really educated on the effects of pornography?
No.
No, not at all.
Have you ever cried in front of someone else?
I wholeheartedly agree with the statement. I feel like it's easier to open up towards women, which is kind of embarrassing, but like, quite frankly, I feel like they understand emotions more because they've...
No, porn is not great. Stop. No, porn is bad, guys. Bro, porn is more bad than good. Good luck. Brother, that's a crazy take, man. I don't know how else to describe this to you other than that's just crazy. Watching the stream, I've learned many people's fetish is Hasan saying no.
They really understand the whole crying. I mean, I feel like crying is sort of normal to them, and they see of it as like a way to express themselves.
It's interesting that you said that you're more comfortable to cry in front of women. I had a girlfriend and she broke up with me over text. And before that, we were like talking and I cried in front of her and I was being honest, and I thought that's what you're supposed to do. That's what my dad taught me, right? But I guess she interpreted it as being insecure.
Why do you never touch on how the industry abuses or exploits women, though, or at least emphasize how important it is to consume ethical porn? That's really interesting that you say that, considering that I've had quite literally multiple sex workers on this broadcast and have brought that up numerous fucking times and have talked about that extensively. So perhaps that's a you problem, as in you haven't sought that kind of information out. Or maybe you're just a fucking dumbass swerve who wants to use that as an entry point into this conversation to be like, oh, it's like, oh my God, why do you never talk about that? I do. I have talked about it, and I do continue to talk about it. I literally brought it up when we were talking about fucking Andrew Tate for the past, like, 2 days in a row, as a matter of fact. The reason people have this porn is bad attitude is because they've been taught that sex is bad. Sex isn't bad, it's natural, it's fun, it's necessary. I agree. Hating porn and hating sex work comes from the same fucking area of just, hating sex or being afraid of sex, having a puritanical attitude towards sex and sexuality. That's it. That's where it comes from. That's it.
And she broke up with me, and that really messed me up for a little while because...
Dwarves always bring up Artemis as some kind of own. I always see them bring it up almost every time you're trending. Yeah, dude. It's fucking insane. But what are you going to do? They literally think that, like, because I went to a brothel that was raided for tax evasion, okay, that 10 years after I went to that brothel, that, like, I am personally responsible for it. And then they claim it's, like, raided for human trafficking when those charges were dropped. So I don't know what to fucking tell you. I'm very open about it.
It's like, well, now I know I can't show any kind of insecurity. So I don't like crying in front of women. Like, I'd rather cry in front of some family that I trust, right?
That's interesting because I'd rather find a stranger on the street and tell them everything I'm going through because I will never see them again in my life. And I feel like they won't be able to judge me because I'll never see them.
I'd rather have a stranger think I'm strong and my family know all my problems, so it's interesting.
Feminism has gone too far.
In the feminism movement, there's so much of tearing down men or trying to put men back in their spot. But if the women want us men to step up, then I feel like it'd be a lot more productive instead of tearing down men and telling us all what we're doing wrong, than to, on the other hand, to build us up. I guess for the sake of keeping us accountable for our actions, and as men, we also need to step up. Giving females more opportunities to certain things, I just think that's quite unfair, and it's like you got to put in the work, you got to put in the certain things to earn these things, and it's not like women are granted less access to these jobs. I mean, I know there's plenty of women who are in business, who are doing good things for America. I just find it counterintuitive that this whole feminist movement is advocating for equal rights in certain things when they already have access to them.
I'm a feminist, I guess. I believe in the equality of men and women. I think that when we talk about feminism, a lot of it boils down to employment. I think that the bringing down of men, you guys keep on saying bringing down men and shaming them, I think that is way overstated. I have never been shamed for my maleness.
I think, you know, if you look at any movement, there's definitely going to be like a radical portion of that movement. But at the same time, like I want to open up the question to you guys. Do any of you guys have personal experience?
Let's go! Let's go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Some smart ass fucking teens, bro. Talk about how feminism has gone too far.
Brought down, you know, like to bring a woman up?
A little bit like in high school. And it's not like the worst thing in the world. We have like an ASB my sophomore year, there was like happy thoughts, right? Like every Friday you just write something and you put it in the bin. It'll just be the girls and then some, you know, more of the feminine guys complimenting each other, which is not a...
The guy who claimed that, who Dasha retweeted, writes for Peter Thiel under an anonymous pen name. Oh yeah, wasn't that guy getting fucking dunked on Twitter like last week actually, or like a couple days ago? The guy who said like the guy who, because I said like Hunter Biden is based or whatever, he was like, oh Hasan, I bet you would love to do child sex trafficking or some shit. Jubilee, literally still a group of incels, yeah. Yes, they were shitting on him for dunking on you, GGs. No, they weren't shitting on him for dunking on me. They were shitting on him for something else. I think he had like a weird coffee meme or something. What was it? Fuck. Yeah, he does work for Thiel, though. A lot of those like post-left people all work for Peter Thiel, we found out. Which is pretty funny. Oh, he said baristas aren't working class. Is that why? Yeah. Oh, it's so great. He said service workers aren't proletarian. Literally, the most exploited, the most mistreated fucking people are not proletarian. Like, it is fucking hilarious, dude. Yeah, no, you totally understand... You totally understand Marxism. You definitely, you figured it out. No, those guys are so fucking annoying. Just say you're a conservative, dog. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you have to put a different spin on it? He's like, I'm a Marxist conservative. Who's working class then? The only person who's working class is a fucking factory farm owner, okay? That's it. They are so aesthetics focused. I love that. I love how fucking dumb they are. One out of 5 farmer in the Netherlands is a millionaire. And these dumb motherfuckers were saying that those guys are more proletarian despite owning multiple fucking assets, despite owning actual fucking capital, that those guys were more proletarian than the fucking Starbucks baristas, dude. Holy shit. Someone make this comic. Chad coffee grower, I grow coffee. Chad coffee refiner, I refine coffee. Chad coffee packager, I package coffee. Virgin barista, I literally make coffee. And then someone did make that. This is the guy. Fucking dumb motherfucker. He only thinks people who touch the actual products are proletarian law. Yeah. So stupid. Pat Sock and socials are contradictory. The international proletariat belongs to no nation, and I'm fucking sick of tapping the sign. Yes, dude. National boundaries. You can't have a fucking... You can't... I'm not even going to get into it. OG tweet. Oh, here it is. The definition of proletarian matters because it distinguishes reactionary unions of bourgeois service work from proletarian labor, which is unionized. The Amazon union is proletarian. The Starbucks union is not. If you don't understand this, you never will. Wait, what? Society does not need Starbucks workers. Society does need Amazon workers. Wait, what? Homie just said the definition of proletarian matters. And who makes up that distinction? Me. I decide. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that it had anything to do with the relations to meet the means of production? No. It has everything to do with the relationship you have with me. I don't drink coffee, so fuck you. Dude, that's awesome. He said bourgeois service work, dude. This is what no theory does to a motherfucker. No, dude, this is like, these are guys who have been carefully handpicked and plucked by dickheads like Peter Thiel to instill reactionary sentiment and like hyper-individualist American reactionary sentiment within the online left, because it is one of the few areas of like organizing, or where one of the few areas where organizing can happen. Not that it does, okay? But it's still incredibly fucking fractionalized, okay? So it's super easy to further undermine the little marginal kind of fucking power you have on the internet, or the marginal organizational capacity you might have on the internet. That's what the rest of my comments said, HasanAbi. On a real note, this is the most likely intended as a fractionalist capitalist attempt to divide the working class. Yeah, exactly. He said coffee is bourgeois decadence. Yeah, you know who else thought that coffee was bourgeois decadence? Or rather, felt like coffee was not something that maybe people in Eastern Bloc countries could get? The USSR, motherfucker. Guess what? You know what happened? Riots. That's what. Sometimes you need fucking treats. No, not Nazis. I'm talking about the USSR. But Hassan, you don't understand. You're not proletariat if you're exploited by who I see as the privileged class exclusively. Luxury commodities are essential to sating the population? Absolutely. Anyway, that's awesome. This shit is so dumb. Sorry, let's get back to this.
Problem, but as they're complimenting each other, oh, look at you, you're killing it, and then they'll even like insult me. It went from being happy thought to build up Women Day. You know what I mean?
I feel like there's a wall, and we should break down that wall and focus on the human race. Not women, not men, not Mexicans, not this. We should all bring each other up.
I've been anxious about my penis size.
I started watching pornography, I think around the age of 11 or 12. And that's, you know, that's a very impressionable, vulnerable place to be in. So of course, there's always these feelings about looking at your body.
Yeah, and I think the competition is probably what affects me the most part. You know, it's the thing you're like, I know good and well there's dudes bigger than me, and she says it doesn't matter, but it still plays on my mental when I go to sleep at night.
Currently, I'm not really like afraid of the size that I have because I am kind of becoming more confident in my body and the way that I am. And I don't really feel like it's going to matter nearly as much when you're with someone for 10 years as you are for like a one-night stand. So I am not personally like that uncomfortable with my size.
Everything that you just said like is true, and like you just need to become confident in your own self by knowing what people really look for. But like it's hard to get on Netflix and watch Euphoria and think like these are like grown-ass men playing high school people, and you think like
They used fake penises though, and from what I understand, there's some fucking tea. Made me feel really happy when I heard about this, actually, in a fucked up way. But apparently they use fake cocks in Euphoria. I've never watched it. I don't know what the fuck goes on there, but I remember hearing about this. They use prop cocks, and turns out the prop cock is actually much larger than the actual cock of the tall one, the tall dude. So apparently, like, some people have been very disappointed. They see it in real life. It's so crazy, dude. Holy shit. What a weird situation to find yourself in as an actor, because you're like, oh yeah, I'll use a prop cock. But then also at the same time, you're like, then everybody has the expectation that you're going to be fucking hung. Terrible. Speaking of prop cocks or stunt cocks, Willem Dafoe has a fat one. Okay, has a fucking fat one, and his dick is so big that what was the movie? Like a director came out and once said that his cock was so girthy and so large that there's a fucking in the movie Antichrist, they had to bring in a cock stunt double because his dick was like out of place. Lars von Trier came out and said they had to bring in a stunt double cock to make the cock look normal sized. Yeah. Lars von Trier finds Willem Dafoe's penis confusingly large. You had a stand-in dick for Dafoe? Yes, we had to have, because Will's own was too big. Too big to fit in the screen? No, too big because everybody got very confused when they saw it. People would get intimidated, especially when he ejaculates blood. That was, that was the double. It's quite a trick. There's a video of Willem Dafoe hanging dong and running around, and it's fucking silly large. The deep on the boys had to be photoshopped out. Wait, really? Someone link his cock. Any advice to small cock owners? Yes. Learn how to eat pussy. And also, don't let it fucking don't let it ruin your life. Actually, even if you have a large cock, you should do that regardless. A lot of people who didn't hear about it are going to find out without a link. No shot. Chase Crawford is that hot and has a massive cock. In the first Thor movie, they edited Tom Hiddleston's bulge to look smaller. you have a small peeper like me, make sure you know how to find the clitoris and do finger exercises. I do judo, so my fingers are like machines. Good one, chatter. Are you speaking from experience? I mean, I'm quite happy with what I have. Let's just say that much. But yes. Oh, another thing I'll tell you. As far as porn goes, yes, there are dudes with like incredibly fat dongers in porn, okay? There's like 10 inchers, 13 inchers, all the stuff, right? But ultimately, a lot of the porn dicks that you see aren't even that big. There's just camera angles and shit. Not the 13, but yeah, okay, I'm just exaggerating. A lot of it is camera tricks. Like, I think, what is it? Like, the average porn cock is actually like 6 to 7 inches or something. And the girls are very tiny, too. And I can confirm, I dated a porn star. A very famous one, as you guys know. Nine inches is like the longest recorded without medical intervention or conditions. Okay, no 13 inches, but whatever, like 9 inches. It's just that all the dudes are 5'5" and always skip leg day. What percentage of your audience is female, Hasan? Because I think it just went up 20%. They also pump them up a lot before some scenes to make them bigger at first. Also, losing weight will put inches on your penis, as I've said before.
Well, that's not what I look like. And then you think about...
What's the biggest misconception when dating a porn star, would you say? I mean, I can't speak for all porn stars. I have hooked up with plenty of sex workers. But in my experience, I think a lot of sex workers are more into like less kinky shit than you would think in their personal life. Missionary, straight missionary, just like regular missionary. Undefeated, it's goated. I'd go so far as to say it's underrated, as a matter of fact. People always like shit on missionary and say, oh, it's too vanilla, it's too vanilla. No, it is. It's great.
Like every person that I have been with or will be with has probably seen this. I think that's really where that anxiety comes from. It's just the fact that other people probably have expectations.
Yeah, eye contact.
I have questioned my sexuality.
It's the intimacy, yes. Eye contact and intimacy is what makes it.
I guess growing up, I was never one of like the jocks of school. I always was into music, I was always into theater, and so growing up, you know, I was always bullied because of that, because I was being too gay or whatever, and I always hung out with the girls. And so I definitely did kind of buy into what everyone else was saying, the peer pressure of...
No spreading bad weight loss rhetoric, bitch. Losing weight does not add inches to your penis, lol. You can just see more of it if it was covered. Yes, obviously, that's what I mean. It doesn't like magically make your dick bigger.
Like saying, oh, you're gay, this is how you're gonna end up turning out because this is how you are now. With where I am now in my life, I've just kind of gotten to a place where I've grown to be confident. I know what my identity is.
People thinking that definitely, like, it gets you thinking, you know? It gets you thinking like, well, like, am I? Or should I be? You know, it's like, should I be attracted to dudes because I like things that are quote unquote gay? You know, but then I guess it just reveals the issue that like, we've made certain things gay and made certain things straight.
Yeah, right. Mine didn't stem from any kind of like extra like curricular activity. My stuff stemmed from porn, as I mentioned before. And when I started watching trans porn, and it's weird to say, but like I got really nervous. I got really nervous because I thought maybe I'd be gay. And so, you know, I did my research on it, and I was kind of obsessed with trying to figure out like what this could mean. And all the stuff I would look up was saying like, if you watch trans porn, you're still straight because they're women and stuff like that. But I'm thinking like, what would my family think?
Dog, that's a bad question to ask, okay? What would my family think? Like, check Twitter trending? No thanks. Why would you fucking have that convo with your parents, dude? That's such a weird convo to have. Hey, Dad, I'm watching this kind of porn. I'm watching that kind of porn. Like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Never do that.
I've never sought out, like, and every time I talk to a trans woman in real life, there's no like actual attraction there. So I'm still lost in the fact of what I actually am attracted to, but I guess I am still straight because they are women.
Quite frankly, right now I feel happy with my sexuality, and I feel that it's not wrong to question your sexuality in terms of law in America. Like, you're free to question whatever you want. You can question your religion. Yeah. You can question your culture. It's just society is the things that constrains those certain things to be what's normal and what's wrong.
Yeah, I feel like there's such a strong stigma to be straight, you know, like, or strong, like a pushing you into it, that even right now, I feel the desire to like explain myself, even though we're anonymous right now. I feel like I've never been with, like, I've only been with like actual like cis women, but like, I don't know this, like, no one is judging me. We're all here to be honest. But it's such a stigma that from the last, 18 years of my life, that in this moment right now, I feel embarrassed and ashamed for something that that's just the way it is,
I'm scared of dying.
I think of it as like, I'm extremely scared of death. I mean, I watched my father die like right before me. It's a scary thing. They just stop breathing. And just the idea of like,
Jesus Christ.
nothing is just extremely terrifying to me. It's like, you don't really know what's going on. Like, are you even thinking? Are you even there? You're just a blip out of just space.
It is terrifying. We don't know. And as a Christian, I want to pretend that like I know that there's, heaven and hell, but at the end of the day, I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I think I always had the fear as a kid growing up that, I'm gonna die and like not fulfill like what I wanted to do here on earth, right? But every time I thought about dying, it was as an old person. But 2 years ago when I started working as a lifeguard, this lady and her friend came to the pool, and I haven't been going in, and she just starts having a seizure. And luckily, I did everything right, and EMS showed up, and she was safe. But then 2 weeks later, she unfortunately had another seizure while driving, and she died. And that's when I realized life is like, it can happen to anyone at any point. And if I just die and don't do anything with my life, then that's what I'm scared of.
I said that I don't.
This dude's talking about like death in his immediate life and experience, and you're like, yo, Willem Dafoe dick. You got chat Googling Willem Dafoe dick, man.
Yes, because unlike you guys, I don't really have an experience, so much hands-on experience with death.
Am I afraid of the
The only thing you should be afraid of is the top of the hour ad break, dude. Okay? That's it. And of course, there's ways to avoid that fear. Like by subscribing for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? Or by getting gifted fucking anonymously 20 subs. Okay? And no longer living in fear of the top of the hour ad break that comes at the top of every hour. But if you're not lucky, you can make your own luck by subscribing for, like I said, for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite streamer. Hopefully it's me. There's the woman ad right now. Shouts out to the anonymous gifter.
That I will die someday, no. But I think, obviously the fact that it might come way sooner than you expect is a scary thought. But it's the one thing that makes life like special. You know what I mean? It's the one thing I feel like that actually gives meaning to it. Because if you would never die, then you would never do anything. Because you would always have more time to do it.
Do you guys feel like you can actually be your genuine self when you're like talking to a girl or hanging out with a girl?
There's definitely a difference between like talking or opening up to like my friends that are girls versus like a girl that I'm interested in.
Like obviously if you're trying to impress a girl, you're gonna be dressed nicely, you're gonna wear some cologne, you're not gonna like fart around her, right? It's like it's a filter thing. But like when it comes to your mom, like your mom's a girl, and I wholeheartedly trust my mom. So I'm gonna be myself around the people I trust more.
I guess that's what it is. There's a lot of times I walk away with talking to a girl I'm really interested in, and I'm like, man, I didn't just go up and be me. And then my best friend, right? He used to be my best friend. He's kind of a womanizer, but I see him get so much success. And every time I've gotten success is doing things that he's done, which is just putting on a facade and telling them what they want to hear.
I think it's good to be yourself because, I mean, you can only put a mask on for so long. It's refreshing to talk to people and realize that I'm not the only one who feels a certain way about things. It's nice, and it's a step in the right direction for me in becoming more comfortable with being open and honest with everybody.
I think just the whole open conversation, like this won't bite me in the end later, or like someone's not gonna listen to this and think, oh, that guy's bad. I have more safety of expressing my honest opinions, and whether those be good opinions or bad opinions, it's a better way to express one's true self without trying to be influenced by what high school is and all the people influencing you.
Austin show. A big dick is nice to look at sometimes, and it's sometimes suck on, but not practical. This man failed booty boot camp, brother. Okay, he couldn't get past the tutorial mission. The fuck does he know about big dicks?
In high school, because frankly, high school is just popular culture, what people think is popular.
He flunked out.
Thank you so much.